In 2011, something strange appeared on sonar beneath the Baltic Sea, a shape that looked almost impossible to explain. Divers went down to investigate, and what they found raised more questions than answers. But that's only number 10. Because later in this list, researchers uncovered a machine that appeared to predict the movements of the heavens, more than 1,000 years before similar technology became common again. These aren't legends. These are real discoveries. A shape beneath the Baltic, a page no one has ever read. Gears that once tracked the stars, stones too heavy for modern cranes to move easily. A chamber carved into total darkness. 10 places, 10 objects, spread across different continents, different centuries, different corners of human history. For most of them, there are explanations. But do they explain everything? Number 10. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. A sonar crew out searching for an old shipwreck picked up something else entirely. Resting alone on the sea floor was a nearly perfect circular structure, roughly the size of a football stadium, sitting where nothing that shape should naturally be. Some of the divers who reached it described equipment acting strangely nearby, though accounts vary and haven't been independently confirmed. Rock samples pulled from the site show mineral traces that don't quite match the surrounding seabed, a detail that's kept geologists debating. The leading explanation is a glacial rock formation, shaped by ice thousands of years ago. But the composition doesn't perfectly match known formations nearby. More than a decade later, researchers still debate what's actually sitting on that ocean floor. Number 9. Inside Yale University sits a 600-year-old book, written in a language nobody has ever been able to read. The handwriting flows like real language, with patterns that almost feel like grammar, but it matches nothing on record, dead or alive. The pages show plants that don't exist in nature, star charts that don't match our sky, and diagrams no one has ever fully interpreted. Cryptographers have tried, linguists have tried, computer algorithms have tried, and the manuscript still refuses to give up its meaning. In 2019, one researcher claimed to have cracked it. Linguists dismantled the theory within days. 600 years later, it's either the most elaborate hoax ever made, or knowledge we've completely lost. Number 8. In 1938, archaeologists near Baghdad dug up a small clay pot holding a copper tube and an iron rod. It looked like nothing, until someone tested it. When researchers filled a replica with an acidic liquid, like vinegar or lemon juice, it produced a measurable current, enough to make the whole idea impossible to dismiss outright. If this really was a battery, it would mean people were generating electrical current long before Volta ever built one in the modern era. But here's the problem. We don't actually know what it was used for. Number 7, the one I mentioned earlier. Deep in the Siberian wilderness sits a massive cone-shaped mound the locals rarely approach. Local accounts describe unease around the site, though many of these reports remain undocumented outside oral history. Scientists once considered an underground blast similar to the Tunguska event, but there's no crater and no meteor fragments to support it. Field research at the site has been limited, and the exact cause of the formation is still not fully understood. Number 6. In Cusco, Peru, ancient stone walls fit together with such precision that you can't slide a card between the blocks. No mortar, no cement, just the exact shape of each stone, cut and set to lock perfectly into the next. Some of these stones weigh over 100 tons, hauled and shaped without wheels, iron tools, or draft animals. Centuries of earthquakes have damaged newer buildings nearby, while these walls have barely shifted. Exactly how builders achieved this level of precision by hand remains a subject of real fascination for engineers today. Some have even tried to replicate the technique using modern cranes and laser measurement, with mixed results. Number 5. On a remote mountain in China, metal pipes run directly through solid rock, some thin as a pencil, others thick enough to fit your arm through. Some early estimates placed their age far beyond anything currently accepted, though those figures remain disputed and haven't been confirmed by later testing. Skeptics point to mineral-rich fossilized roots as an explanation. But that theory doesn't fully account for the branching, plumbing-like networks the pipes form underground. Number 4. In 1901, divers pulled a corroded lump of bronze from a Roman shipwreck. Inside were more than 30 interlocking gears, a 2,000-year-old machine built to track the sky. It predicted eclipses years in advance. It tracked the movement of planets across the sky. It even calculated the exact dates of the ancient Olympic Games, all through a system of interlocking bronze gears no bigger than a shoebox. Then, something happened that shouldn't have been possible. The technology simply disappeared. Nothing this advanced appears in the historical record again for over 1,000 years. Not until mechanical clocks emerge in medieval Europe. Whether it was the work of a lone genius or a scientific tradition erased by time, no one has settled the question. Number 3. Imagine draining a small pond behind your house, expecting mud and rocks, and instead, discovering a cathedral-sized chamber carved into the earth beneath it. That's essentially what happened to a farmer in China back in 1992, when curiosity led him to pump the water out of a pond his family had avoided for generations. What he found was a network of massive, hand-carved caverns, with no historical record of who built them or why. Millions of cubic feet of stone were removed with striking precision, and after 3 decades of study, the purpose still isn't fully understood. Number 2. In 1929, historians in Istanbul uncovered a 500-year-old map. At first, it looked ordinary. Then, someone noticed the coastline, drawn decades before Europeans mapped South America themselves. Some researchers have argued that one section resembles the Antarctic coastline, possibly even without its modern ice cover. Others strongly disagree and call it coincidence or skilled guesswork. The debate itself is part of what keeps this map famous. And number 1. Just outside Cusco sits Sacsayhuaman, a sprawling fortress built from stone blocks arranged in a jagged lightning bolt pattern along the hillside. Some of these blocks weigh more than 120 tons, heavier than a fully loaded jet airliner, somehow moved and set into place without a single modern machine. No mortar holds these stones together, just a fit so exact that not even a sheet of paper slides between them. The walls have outlasted earthquakes that damaged modern buildings nearby. Exactly how the builders achieved such enormous, tightly fitted masonry remains a subject of real fascination and ongoing study. Notice something about all 10 of these? Nobody went looking for a mystery. A diver was searching for a shipwreck. A farmer was digging a pond. A librarian was cataloging old books. An archaeologist was clearing dirt from a routine dig site. Every single discovery on this list started as something completely ordinary, on a completely ordinary day. They weren't looking for mysteries. The mysteries found them. Maybe every one of these has a perfectly ordinary explanation, just waiting to be confirmed. Maybe not. But here's what makes them fascinating. Every answer creates another question. And somewhere beneath the ocean, inside an old book, or buried in the ground, there may be another discovery, waiting quietly for someone who isn't even looking for it. Which one do you think deserves a second look? Tell me the number below. I read every comment. And if you want to see what happens when researchers actually dig into a mystery like this one, the next video is right there.